Hello and welcome to this evening's introduction to the Masters and Graduate Diploma programs in Guidance Counselling that we offer here in DCU. My name is Aisling Murray Fleming and I am part of the guidance team. I am the program chair of both the Masters and the Graduate Diploma in Guidance, and my colleagues Paul King and Mary Theresa Gorman also are part of the team. So we have two programs available currently in DCU. We offer one program which is based on our DCU St. Patrick's campus, and that's the Masters in Guidance Counselling. And that program is 2 years part-time and it's run on evenings for 4 semesters, and there are some Saturdays in year one only. And we have a second program which we offer as an outreach program. So that is a graduate diploma in guidance counselling. And from January, that program is being offered in Cork, on the Bishopstown campus of Cork ETB. And that program, again, part-time, it's run over 18 months or 3 semesters, and it's 2 weekends, give or take, per month. We run it on a Friday evening from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 till 4. The graduate diploma is currently supported by the Department of Education and Youth, which means we are specifically offering it for Route 2 qualified teachers currently. But if you're interested in the outreach programme, do please let us know and we can advise you of when the next outreach is available for people who are non-qualified teachers. So before I get into the real nitty-gritty of the programs, I just want to talk to you a little bit about guidance. There are many definitions of what guidance counselling is or what guidance practitioners do. And here in DCU, we take a holistic approach to guidance. And to help us with that, we use a definition that was coined in Ireland in 2007. In 2008, it was adopted as an EU resolution. But essentially, what it says is that guidance facilitates people throughout their lives to manage their own educational, training, occupational, personal, social, and life choices so that they reach their full potential and contribute to the development of a better society. And why that is so important is we take a very holistic approach to guidance here. So we believe that people, our clients, or students who come to talk to the guidance counsellor, they come with more than just the educational dilemma or the vocational questions or the questions about the next transition that they should make. But we believe they come as a whole person. And that's very important when I talk about how we train guidance counsellors here in DCU. So as I mentioned, we have the two programs, Masters and Graduate Diploma, and both programs offer initial education and training in the knowledge, skills and attitudes that are necessary to practice as a guidance counsellor in the very specific and very interrelated areas of personal education and career guidance counselling. And why is that so important? Well, I suppose the reason why we want to emphasize that with you is because, again, back to the holistic, we treat you as students also holistically. And there's a very strong emphasis in our programs on reflective practice and personal growth. And how we do that through very experiential learning. We do it through placement practice. We do it through personal counselling and professional supervision, all to help you develop the skill set that is necessary to become a guidance counsellor. What's really important to remember as part of all of this is when we meet students or graduates of our program years later, it's never the textbooks that they remember, but more the personal growth that they talk about as their experience that they had when they were in DCU as students of the Masters or the Graduate in Guidance Counselling. So both programs, the Masters and the Graduate Diploma in Guidance Counselling, are NFQ Level 9. Why is it? What is the big difference between them is often the question that we get asked. Probably the research element is the biggest difference or the strongest thing that differentiates the two programs. So if you complete the Masters, you will do a research dissertation as part of that qualification. So both programs are initial training programs. Both programs, we have candidates from many walks of life. But as I've mentioned, the program in Cork is currently for Route 2 qualified teachers. And through those programs, as mentioned already, we focus on things like knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And we talk about all areas of guidance, so the personal, the education, and the career. And there's a very strong emphasis on reflective practice and personal growth. On our master's program in particular, we get students from all walks of life. So we get people who come from industry. We've had people from organisations like AIB, ESB, Pfizer, Morgan McKinley, and many other large organisations who feel that there is a role for guidance within their organisations. We, for very many years, have worked with the Defence Forces, and we regularly have members of the Defence Forces as part of our team, as part of our students. We also work with a lot of people who come from non-profit organisations like Barnardo's, Coal Mine Rehabilitation Services, Business in the Community, Simon Community, Focus, and many others. And then we have a lot of people who work in different guidance settings that you mightn't consider traditional. So yes, we definitely have Department of Education schools, higher education services like universities or other HEIs. We also work with people from the Adult Guidance Association, so people who come from adult guidance in sometimes community settings, sometimes in others, like the ETBI. And they also look after FET guidance, which is further education and training. And we more increasingly are seeing people come from, again, maybe what people might consider as non-traditional settings, but the HSE have employed guidance counsellors, as have the prison service, and a number of other government agencies. So guidance is, as far as we're concerned anyway, a lifelong process, and more organisations, both profit and non-profit state agencies, are beginning to recognise that, and guidance roles are appearing in very many different organisations throughout Ireland. So our mission as providers of guidance training is to deliver a programme that is both academically challenging but also practically sound. We understand that this programme is really important because it is what gives you the foundation before you go out to practice as a guidance counsellor, and we want to make sure that you are as prepared for that as possible. And as part of that, we understand that you will need to be able to support clients in the best way possible, regardless of their stage in the lifespan or what transitions or decisions that they may be facing. And ultimately, our primary goal is to inform and contribute to best practice and guidance in Ireland. And we are really lucky to have the most wonderful alumni who would deliver that type of guidance throughout the country. So what will you study? So both programs have very similar modules and both include foundational skills in guidance counselling. So they are the skills that you will need before you sit face to face with a client or a student. Counselling approaches to guidance is where we help you to understand the foundations of guidance counselling, which comes from very many different schools of thought, including psychology, sociology, and many others. We focus on some digital tools that will help you be a better practitioner, but also prepare you to work with students and clients who are dealing with an increasingly digitalised world. You will do theories and skills of experiential groups, which means learning what it is like to be part of a group when you're consciously aware of the role that you're playing and the roles that others around you are taking on. And we do career development theory, policy, and practice. And finally, you will do placement practice throughout your time with DCU, whereby you get to practice those skills under the mentorship of a qualified guidance counsellor. So placement is also something that people often have lots and lots of questions about. And what I can't iterate enough here is placement is a very supported process throughout the entire time you'll be with DCU. Where you choose to do your placement setting is entirely up to you, and how you choose to do your placement is entirely up to you. As this is a part-time program, people will choose to do their placement in lots of different ways. Sometimes people do it in bulk and do it all at one time, spread over maybe a couple of months or maybe longer. Others try to do an hour or two a week, and others do kind of small, concentrated hours at different periods of time throughout the program. And all of those work. It's whatever works best for you and your mentor that will work best for the program. You can do your placement in any setting where there is guidance in practice and you have the mentorship of a qualified guidance counsellor. And people often have lots of different questions, like I work in a setting where there is a guidance role, but there's nobody in it at the moment. Where would I find a mentor? Or I don't know where to do my placement. I don't even know where to start to look for placement. And again, I can tell you that we can support you very much with that. We have, as I've mentioned already, an amazing alumni all around, located all around the country, and they're usually very willing to be a mentor as they remember what it was like to be mentored. So please don't worry about placement. It's probably the thing that you need to be least concerned with at this stage if you're considering applying for the programme, but more so begin to think about things like what you can do to prepare yourself to apply for the programme. So 10 hours of personal counselling are also a requirement of our programme currently, and that is for us to help you understand what it feels like to be counselled or to be in a situation where you open up to somebody else. So those 10 hours of personal counselling will also support you in your personal development throughout the programme. They can be completed during the programme or just before the programme, but they are an element of our programme as well. Both programmes are recognised by the Department of Education and Youth to work in a school environment, but please do note that you must already be a qualified teacher with Route 2 Teaching Council accreditation before you get your guidance qualification in order to be able to work in a school. So you cannot work in a school with just a guidance qualification. You must be registered with the Teaching Council through Route 2 also. Finally, the programme is recognised by the Institute of Guidance Counsellors, and the IGC, as they're known, are the representative body for guidance counsellors in Ireland, and they have a fairly comprehensive website as well if anybody wanted to take a look there. So just to kind of separate out the courses for a moment and reiterate the two different programs, we offer the Masters in Guidance Counselling in St. Patrick's campus every year. That opens for applications in spring, and we offer places kind of around Easter time usually, and that course starts the following September. It's a part-time program run over 2 years. That's 4 academic semesters. It's based in St. Patrick's campus, Drumcondra, and currently our evenings are Wednesday evenings and Thursday evenings from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And there are some Saturday workshops, usually about 5 in semester 1. For the grad dip, that program is currently, or from January, will be offered in Cork. It's part-time over 1.5 years or 3 semesters. It is Friday evenings from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock and Saturday from 9 to 4 p.m., approximately twice per month. As mentioned already, that programme is currently specifically for Route 2 qualified teachers, and that is supported by the Department of Education and Youth to address a need for guidance counsellors, particularly in the Munster region of the country. Minimum entry requirements for the programme are stated on the web pages for both programmes, but most people who apply already have a level 8 or equivalent. We do recognise previous work-related experience as well. We do look for a minimum of 3 years relevant work experience, and I really can't emphasise that that must be 3 years of relevant work experience post-qualification. So, for example, if you've done the PME and have done placement hours and that does not count towards the relevant work experience to take part in the guidance qualification. And really, what we're looking to capture, there is an interview process once people meet the minimum entry requirement. There is an interview process because most years we have more applications than we have places available. And what we look to establish in that interview is that people have a genuine interest and an understanding of what guidance counselling is, and you will be asked to articulate that. So when applications open, you can apply through the DCU application portal. You will be asked to upload a copy of your passport, previous transcripts, a supplementary form which allows you detail your work experience and any other relevant experience, as well as your motivation for applying for the programme. And you'll be asked to supply the name of two and email addresses of 2 referees, one professional and one academic. Please don't worry if you haven't been in academia or done any educational experiences recently. 2 professional references are also acceptable if that's the case. What I would say to you is the application window is quite narrow when it opens, so these are things that you could be getting ready in advance. The supplementary form is available on our webpage, and transcripts in particular can take quite a while to get. So they're all things that you can be working on when you're waiting for the portal, for the guidance programs to open on the portal. So I feel like that was a very whistle-stop tour, and you may have more questions. And if you do, we have a specific program email address, mscgc@dcu.ie. And please feel free to forward any questions that you might have to us at that email address. And we certainly look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.